Hey guys, I'm back real quick. I want to share with you some dreams and visions that I have had and most recent ones that I've had. Um, but first, let me tell you a little bit of background about myself in terms of having dreams and visions. So, my first dream that actually came true or was when I was 15 years old. So after that, I've had several that have come to pass, uh, very vivid and accurate. So the first dream that I want to mention today was the one that I had about maybe I'd say maybe about 4 years ago, uh, and it was I was outside and I had saw an old friend, someone that kind of lived in my old neighborhood where I grew up. And this person, I hadn't seen them in a while. And then all of a sudden, they were coming down my street and he was coming down the street with his family. And so they were coming down the street and they were having a disagreement. And as I was coming down my walkway, to say hi, I noticed that they were having a disagreement. And I noticed the way he was speaking to her. And you have to understand, in real life, he and I have a rapport uh, that is, we have an open communication where we can talk to each other. So I'm noticing how he is speaking to her, and I was uncomfortable. I didn't like it, I kind of talk to him like a brother sometimes. So I asked him, if he would please allow me to speak with him, privately. I said, can we go over here? I need to talk to you. And he said yes. And so we walked away from her. She stayed there with the children. We walked away from her and we were walking up my stairs because I need to get him somewhere where I didn't want to, talk to him the way that I know that we talk sometimes in front of his wife or his children because I didn't want him to think I was, being disrespectful to him in front of them. So we're walking up my stairs because we're going to go step inside of my door and talk. But as we were going up the stairs, we got halfway up the stairs. All of a sudden, I heard, you know, and I thought, what? Oh, please, no. That was my thought. I thought, please, 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 no. And the reason why I thought that was because at that time, even at the time of that dream, I was on my way back from being backslidden. I was working on it, coming out of that, but I had not completed that yet. I was still, in the process of coming out of, because when you backslide, it that's why I don't ever want to backslide again because like those demons they get a hold of you. Like I said, when how it says when the house is swept clean, and then they come back 7 times more seven. So imagine if you go back and and backslide. It's really hard to get that stuff off you. It messes with all kinds of stuff. It can mess with your faith. It can mess with just so many areas. And my backsliding, I will tell you, I wasn't blatant and just trying to be rebellious. It was like one of the songs that we all know is that slow fade, but I found myself there. And so that's where I was uh, at the time of that dream. And even in the dream, I was aware of that. And so when I heard the sound of the trumpet, I turned around and I looked up in the sky. And when I looked, because I looked back, because my apartment's ahead and I couldn't see anything there. So I had to turn around and I looked back and I saw a tiny little hole in the sky. And the blue in that hole was beautiful. Imagine like the blue of Hawaii's, the water, the tropics. It's just beautiful. And so it's getting larger and larger, and I see a little something in the middle of it. And as it gets larger and opens up more and more, that something in the middle is coming forward, and all on the side were thousands and thousands of angels. And of course, that something in the middle became more and more apparent as it got closer. And yes, it was Jesus coming back. And I saw it. I dropped to my knees. I grabbed his leg because he was in front of me going up the stairs. And I said, no, And then shortly after that, thank God, I woke up. I was never the same. I have to tell you. Yeah, I do believe it was for me personally, but also I believe it was for me to share because that's how it's going to be, like a thief in the night. And God doesn't want it to catch us unaware, and He wants us to take this serious. So that was that dream, and like I said, I've never been the same since. The feeling that I got, it felt so real, and I know that's how it's going to happen. People are just going to be going about their daily life, and then all of a sudden, and just imagine how you will feel, if you're not ready yet. So it's going to be an awful feeling because it'll be too late. And definitely, I don't want that. So that was that dream. Now, fast forward. If you don't write these things down, sometimes you don't remember every single detail, but I'm going to tell you real snippets of the last couple of dreams. So, one that I had, I think it was last week, was I again was outside, and I do a lot of walking. So, and of course, it's kind of hard to see the sky if you're inside. So, you know, the reasons that God would have, He has me outside, in my dream. So, I guess so I can see the sky. So, I was outside, and someone told me to look up and at the sky, but they were very casual about it. They were like, "Oh, look up there, look at." And so they telling me to look up while they were just, kept on, talking to who they were talking to. And I looked up, and there were two dark clouds, but they were in the shape of feet. They you know I mean, they look so much like feet that there's no way that you're going to think that they're just some strange clouds, or the clouds looking like bunnies. You know how they usually do, when if you lay in the grass and look up at the clouds when you were a kid, you would see all different shapes. No, 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 wasn't like that. And I thought, oh my gosh, okay, Jesus is coming back. But it was strange because usually when we get those dreams, we see him coming in the clouds of the angels. So this was odd to me, but I was like, okay. But as soon as I started to think that, and the feet started kind of coming down, there was something that spoke in my spirit. And I soon quickly realized that um, it was not Jesus. It was something, it changed from seeming hopeful to seeming to be something that you need to be aware of, something you need to be cautious of. And so it turned out that after those clouds started coming down, I realized that it was the Antichrist. It was a spirit of Antichrist. And so the next thing you know, there was announcements being made on the news uh, who the Antichrist was. And yes, I did see a face, but I am not going to say because I don't know. Only God knows. I don't even know if that was accurate or not, or so, if it's just a thought in my mind. And last one, and so it's kind of almost hand in hand with that one, or maybe it's something still about people in office. It's really strange. So the last one again was outside, and this one, I don't know all the details of it. It kind of left me. There's only one, and maybe it's the only one that God really just wanted me to remember. So, the I saw shapes in the sky. There were some people standing around me, and we were, there was a disruption in the sky, and we were all looking. So some of it's coming back to me. So we were all looking. So I look up and I see disruption going on in the heavens, like things were looking kind of strange. And then all of a sudden, the clouds, I thought things kind of seemed like they calmed down. And so then the clouds, I'm talking about all over. It's like a jigsaw puzzle, only every shape was the same shape. And imagine them being side by side, almost like they want to fit into each other, but all of them had the same shape, which was an octagon shape. I'm talking about just it's like the cloud was the sky was a picture of octagons, if you can imagine that. Just all, I'm not talking about five or six. I'm talking about the whole sky. It was like a painting, was pictures of octagon and inside of each octagon, they all said the same word. They all said president. All of them. I don't know what that is. I have no idea, but they all said the same thing. So I don't know what that means, but shortly after that, the sky started doing some really, really strange stuff. And I'm talking about so strange. We were just standing there, and then the people around me were getting a little bit nervous. I was nervous too. Don't believe me. I was nervous too, but I was trying not to be because I know what the Bible says, and I know, you know, that it's gonna be the way God says, and we can't change it. We just have to try to stay calm. So I see the sky doing all this really strange, really frightening stuff, and the people around me were getting nervous, and I decided I didn't want to stand there and look at it anymore. I figured if I keep looking at this, I'm going to freak out. So I'm just going to go in the house and, you know, do, things that I need to do, clean up and do, just kind of like let God have his way. I mean, not let him, he's going to have his way, but you know what I mean? Like things are going to happen the way they're going to happen. There's no need me standing there looking at it, getting frightened. I'm just going to go in here and just continue on and until, things are so apparent that, I would need to do something different. So that's what I came in the house and I started to do that. And then I woke up. No, I came in the house and I started to do that. And then some of the people from outside came inside. And then I woke up. And that was my most recent uh, dream concerning, the heavens and the skies. And it's something that God is, I think he might be saying. Um, so I had another dream after that, but not so sure if that one was prophetic for me to share, as it was probably something just personal for me. It had to do with a dog. I don't know, maybe God wants me to get a dog. um, because I remember all the details. And that's one of the things about it when you can kind of want to sit up and pay attention to. If you remember all the vivid details, or things stand out to you, and it's Bible prophecy, and it's something you might want to kind of, you know, uh, take note of, at least write it down, and then you can come back to it later. So yeah, those were my dreams, and I don't usually share my dreams with, definitely not online. I share them with, maybe family or people that I know. I might talk to them a little bit here and there, but I decided that I would share these because I got two in a row that had to do with, uh, presidential type things. And that's, please have a wonderful rest of your day. And I may be back on live because I am working towards being obedient. I've been, in school, and I just feel like the Lord has been saying, with all that studying that you're doing, you're putting a lot of energy into that, but you need to put as much energy into my word and doing what I tell you to do. So that's what I'm trying to do. So God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Maybe I'll be back later. If not, I will talk to you on the next YouTube video. God bless.